Hello everybody, Striker997 and in today's video we are going to be doing a DLC review for Advanced Warfare. This is the last DLC review for Advanced Warfare, and probably the last DLC review for COD. Not sure if I'll do another one anytime soon. I may jump over to different things, I may start doing reviews on different things, but I haven't done one of these in a while. I think the last one I did was DLC 3, and people did enjoy that, so I'm going to be doing DLC 4. So on the map you're going to see here is Fracture. Believe it or not, I was kind of disappointed at this map, because in the trailer this looked the coolest, and while its map effect is, I think, the coolest, the map itself isn't really nothing too fancy. It's more of a who can get to the toppest point and hold it off. There's a couple areas in it that actually I found were kind of like would be really easy to defend with a couple people, like right here in this cave. You could literally just have a couple people line up and you could just literally slaughter people. I don't really like the way the map is. And then you got this whole area of the map here which splits off, which I thought was cool. I think that's one of the cooler map effects in this. But altogether, the map's nothing really interesting. There's not a lot of floors in it. There's not a lot of places to go. There's really just it's just a huge open map. Which, if you like huge open maps, that's good. But there's really no enclosed areas, which is, I think, kind of good, but at the same time kind of bad, because as you see, there's that one room right there, and then that's it. That's the only real room in this whole building, which is insane. But it's a lot of open areas, a lot more of jumping around. You're going to have to be moving around a lot more, because this is definitely a go-to sniping map. If you like sniping and you can do long-range things easily, you're going to love the shit out of this map, because it is just huge on sniping. You could snipe people from mad far, and if you have the new SVO, if you have the SVO Return to Sender or the Eagle Eye, you can just literally sit at the back of the map and pick people off one by one. Even though I wouldn't recommend even though people might get mad at me for being like, why not quickscope? You can go in quickscope. This map's good for that too, but it's really built for long-range engagements. I feel that's what they were getting at here. This is not a up-close and personal map. Don't try and use SMGs on it, because for the most part, people will outgun you, because the map's so open that there is like one enclosed area that you could go with an SMG. Otherwise, the map is so flippin' open that you're going to get gunned down by ARs and snipers very, very easily. That's really it. I mean, there's nothing really more to talk about this map. Like I said, the map effect we'll get to in a second. The map, for the most part, is kind of small, to be honest. It's considered the biggest map out of the couple. I kind of don't really feel that's the way it is. It's just really a long, narrow strip where you can gun down people. In a way, it kind of reminds me of, like, bases, kind of like Kremlin was, except instead of having, like, these nice, open, big areas on the inside of both buildings, this one has just kind of 2 towers and then a bunch of land in between with some cover. Definitely interesting. Not my favorite out of the maps, but it's kind of a good one if you like sniping and long-range game. My opinion might change as I play the map more, but without further ado, we're going to jump in to the map effect. Jesus Christ, I accidentally clicked the mute button on my mic. Ha ha ha. And here we have the map effect. Yeah, the map just splits apart. The whole thing just collapses on itself. I do like this map effect. I think it's one of the cooler ones. I think it might be the best out of the DLC, mainly due to the fact of how it literally breaks up the map, and you now have different cover spots. And the easiest thing I can say, if you're in a Goliath and you're on this side of the map, you are screwed now. When you go on the ice, though, it does vibrate your controller lightly, which if you play with controller vibration on, that might mess you up, because you won't feel gunshots as much. But this is, like, definitely interesting, because now you have to, it kind of changes the way you play, because before you could just run and use this complete lane. Now when you use this lane, you're going to be jumping a lot more and wasting your exo boost a lot more, and you're going to have to be a little bit more conservative when you go over this way. So it kind of, like, makes one lane harder to go on, and at the same time, if you're, like, you can be just waiting on, like, the main land part, and you can just kill people. That's all for the map. I believe the map was called Fracture. That's all for the map. Wow, I already forgot the map name. That's all for the map Fracture. It's meh, probably not the best out of all the maps. If anything, I think that the best map was now we go to the map Overload. This is a medium-sized map and kind of weird. Because the map effect, you'll see, which I'll say later on, kind of makes it extremely deadly. This map is, you're on, I think, a floating, like a city on the water, and there's water surrounded by you on all sides, so it's kind of like you're on your own little island, and there's these pylons, these things, which are Satan himself. If you can learn to master these things, you will become literally God, because they are so ridiculously OP. They can hit you from such a distance away. It's a bit ridiculous. Here you can see that there's this water on all sides. There is a helicopter, which I thought was pretty cool, which I'm going to go to in a bit. But, this map is kind of meh. I mean, it's just a big old box map with really nothing to show. I mean, it's got a kind of cool map effect. If you like really just trolling people, you'll love this map. Its map effect is perfect, which I will show you the map effect. I had some fun messing around with it. But this map altogether is kind of like that map you're probably not going to play much in the DLC, or at the same time you might play a lot. Because it's either A, you hate this map, or B, you're going to love it to death. Because if you can control the map effect, because this map effect is controllable, you can literally just become Jesus. That's really all for this map. You clearly see I go to the map of the map a couple times, and here's this chopper I was talking about earlier. What I was thinking of is you could be a total dick and get 2 people with riot shields in here and just sit here. Imagine that, because it's head high. You can only go prone. And literally what you can just use, you can just get a friend and you in there with riot shields, or you could have 3 people and you could have one in between, and you can just start shooting people from the outside. The only bad thing would be if there was a grenade, because you'd have to flood out really fast. But that's really all this map is. It's just really a giant box. It is just a box. That's what it is. It's got a couple areas you can jump off, or you can try and hold down. But it's more open, kind of like the first map. Not so much enclosed, which is kind of weird. I'm not going to say that this is my favorite map. I do like the fountain, though, because the fountain kind of reminds me of Verrückt, in a way, because I love the Verrückt fountain. But besides that, the map's kind of on the meh side for me. Not my favorite, not my least favorite. Now we're going to jump into the map's special effect. This map's special effect, like I said, if you control it, will be so overpowered. Alright, so you shoot these things, and they shoot electricity that will shock everything in its perimeter. There are a lot of these, too. Like, a lot of these pylons. There is a crap ton of them. Look at, you can literally just, if you wanted to, you could go to the fountain in the middle and just start spawn killing. Because I looked at it, and for the most part, you can literally hold down 2 people with using these pylons and kill teams upon teams. As you clearly see, though, they do have a charge time, which kind of takes a bit. Grenades do not activate them. I think that was good. You have to actually shoot it with a bullet. And if you do shoot it with a bullet, everything dies around it. That's essentially what happens. That's all that happens. See? It, like, does an electric effect, and you just drop dead if you go near it. So what I suggest doing is doing what I'm about to do. If you are running away from someone, turn around, shoot that, and run. You'll most likely get a crap ton of kills. I don't know how I feel about this map. Unlike Fracture, which I know I might like it. This map I don't know, because like I said, if I get spawn killed by those things, or I get killed a lot by those, I'm gonna get very aggravated, because it does go towards the kills. But I found a little glitch here. I don't know what I was doing. I was just like, hey, I can do this. I'm like, whoa. But besides that, the map for the most part is kind of generic and not my favorite out of the map pack. So altogether, this map, I think it's called Overload. Map Overload is meh. I mean, if you can control those pylons, yeah, you can do some serious work, but if you can't, you're gonna get your ass kicked. So now we're going to jump over to the next map, Quarantine, the map with the bananas. Do you think I was lying when I said that this map is going to have bananas? Did you? You probably did. Well, there seriously are bananas on this map. Anyway, now we're going to be reviewing the map Quarantine, the third map that was added, or the third map we're going to be reviewing for today. This map is kind of it's strange because it's more or less just it's a box, but it has a lot more indoor areas than the last couple maps, and also has a couple outdoor areas. It's a lot more enclosed, so if you like enclosed maps, you're going to love it. If you love SMGs, you're going to love it again. Past 2 maps have been a little bit more long range, a little bit more like up and at it, like a little bit more just like you can get some ground on people. Like if you were playing the last 2 maps, they really felt like they were like standard COD maps. They would be like instantaneously called sniper maps. This is like the core of the map. This is how you're going to get from point A to point B. You're just going to run through the middle, because this is where, I feel like this is where the action is going to happen. This is where everything's going to go down. There may even be a hard point in there. That'd be pretty funny, because later the map effect actually involves this. But as you clearly see, there are bananas. I did not lie. Bananas. And there's that tire swing. If you saw in the trailer, you can actually shoot a grenade through the tire swing and it will blow up on the other side. Don't know how you're going to use that to your advantage. And then here you can clearly see that down there is evil. This map overall doesn't have much. I mean, it's kind of on the meh side. I like its map effect because it's extremely beware of infected monkeys. Because it's it kind of changes the way you have to play it. Because normally when you play it, you just kind of run through that little area, and it just gets rid of that middle area, essentially, and you have to use different flanking routes. Kind of like Fracture, the way that they like force you to use different routes or to control the map to your advantage. It's very, very interesting. Definitely something I would kind of, I don't know, definitely something I wouldn't mind, whatchamacallit, I wouldn't mind playing. It's going to definitely be interesting for objective modes, especially hardpoint. I feel like if the hardpoint was on that tree, it'd be hard as hell to control, because you'd have to have people like really use the tree. Sorry, my voice is getting dry. I'm gonna have to get a glass of water after this. But besides that, yeah, that was Quarantine. Let's move on to the map effect, shall we? So this is the map effect. You hear the lady say it as clear as day. She says this is going to happen. No! Ball! Ball, no! No, ball! And all the toys, everything falls in, and the whole map just changes. I thought you can exo boost out. Nope. If you are on that ground, when that happens, you are dead. Instantaneously dead. There is no way you're coming back from that. That is instant death. There's no survival. There is just instantaneous death. Here I just kind of mess around because there's really nothing else to do on the map. This will definitely change the way you play, though, because you have to be really careful the way you play it. At one point, actually, I do believe I find monkeys on it. That if you shoot the glass, they get all agitated. And then there's these blocks here. There's a bunch of little things in the map that are pretty cool and altogether interesting. I would say that this map is not the best, but definitely one of the more interesting ones. I feel it's more going to be like this room right here is going to be like the center of the battle, similar to how in Core everything happens in the core, and then you also have the miniature battles going on the outside. Don't know how people are going to play this, but it's kind of on the altogether on the map side of things. I would say it's meh. So far, my favorite out of all the maps is Fracture, mainly due to the fact that it forces you to use 2 lanes. This is my second favorite, definitely, just because of all the core focus and how the map is really, it's kind of like the anti of Fracture. Actually, no, the next map is actually the anti of Fracture. But definitely an interesting map. Definitely one of the cooler maps. This ain't nothing like Ghost DLC, unfortunately, but still, it is quite good. Altogether, I give this map a okay, I guess. It does have, this map actually I notice has more glitches than a lot of the other ones. As you clearly see, I am going to actually glitch my death. I glitch it twice. I do it again, but I didn't record it. So if you go over here on this tree, and you can actually, I think there's going to be a death barrier glitch where you can actually go down there, because I just know way glitches happen. So as you clearly see, I get in the tree eventually. It's actually hard as hell to get on that branch. And then I jump up, and I believe I exo boost forward, and then you just fall, and that happens. Now to move on to the last map, Swarm. Swarm is the SMG map. If you like SMGs, you like getting up close and personal, this is your map. This map, believe it or not, I feel could be a very, very good basic COD map. Like, it feels it feels like just a COD map. It doesn't feel like it doesn't have a lot of. I think it maxes out at 3 stories, which is kind of weird because in AW, normally it maxes out like 4 or 5 or 6. It gets really tall really quick. This one maxes out at 3, kind of how Urban maxed out at 2. This map really could be, and I feel like it was made after an older COD map, just the way it is. Like there's areas you can get to. A lot of the map is accessible by foot, unlike Swarm where you have to, not Swarm, unlike Fracture where you have to really rely on the exosuit. If I were to put it into terms, I would consider this a Call of Duty map, a base 2D shooter Call of Duty map, and I would consider Swarm an Advanced Warfare map. If you looked at Swarm, I mean not Swarm, this is Swarm, and I would consider Fracture an Advanced Warfare map because it is huge. It is long, it has the map effect, it breaks off some of the map, it forces you to change the way you play, and it has huge, like, towers and stuff. This map I feel would be really, really good as a remade map, just because of how good the base is. It's 3-lane. There's not much going on in it. There's a couple of robots on the outside, obviously, but it's 3-lane. It maxes out at 3 stories, and it's very, very easy to play in. This map is the smallest of them, and is definitely my 3rd favorite. My least favorite, I would have to say, is the Overload map. But this map is definitely an interesting one. That's all for today's video on the DLC review. I may do a Zombies review, or I may just do a Zombies video where I look at it for the last Zombies map. And that's all, really, for today's video. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment telling me what you think of the maps. What's your favorite map? Mine personally is Fracture, for the reasons I listed before, but you can tell me what's your favorite map down below. And without further ado, I'll be seeing you. So, bye.